What's up, guys? Giancarlo Fancast Live. So I am tired of listening to sports talk radio and listening to Yankee fans call in and complain about how the Yankees are being cheap by not signing the likes of Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. Really? Cheap? I'm going to explain to you why Bryce Harper and Manny Machado are not a good fit. I'm sure you've heard the stories before, but I'm going to remind you because obviously it's not getting through your thick skulls. Here we go. Let's start with Bryce Harper, number one. Bryce Harper is a right fielder with a power left-handed bat. Ideally, it would make so much sense for the Yankees to sign Bryce Harper because they are so right-handed bat heavy in this lineup that they would tremendously need a left-handed power bat. Unfortunately for Bryce Harper, the Yankees already have a right fielder in Aaron Judge. I know Aaron Judge was speaking with the media during the week, and he mentioned something about loving the fact that the possibility of Bryce Harper signing with the Yankees, and he would consider moving to center field of all positions to make room for Bryce Harper. Do you really think he meant that? I highly doubt it. Number one, Aaron Judge is not moving to center field because he's not a center fielder. He is not athletic enough and is not fast enough to man center field. Aaron Hicks right now is your center fielder. What do you do with Aaron Hicks? You're not moving him. And you have Giancarlo Stanton probably going to man left field most of the time. Then you got Brett Gardner, who re-signed to come back as a fourth outfielder, and you got Clint Frazier coming back from injuries. So you have five outfielders in that Yankees line on that Yankees roster. So ideally, Bryce Harper is not a good fit for the New York Yankees at this present time. Now, if the Yankees would be willing to move Giancarlo Stanton's contract, then there would be a possibility of the Yankees signing Harper. The problem here is Giancarlo Stanton has a no-trade clause in his contract that says that the only other team that he would play for besides the New York Yankees would be the LA Dodgers. Now, I'm sure Brian Cashman has called up the Dodgers and inquired to see if they'd be interested in taking Giancarlo Stanton's contract. And because of the fact that Giancarlo Stanton is still a New York Yankee, I'm assuming the Dodgers said, hell no. Okay, so let's move on to Manny Machado. Manny Machado is on the market as a shortstop. Shortstop is a premier position, and it pays premier dollars. When he met with the New York Yankees, I am sure the conversation came up where the Yankees and Brian Cashman asked Manny Machado if he'd be willing to play third base for the New York Yankees. And I'm sure during that conversation, Manny Machado probably, most likely, I should say, said, no thanks. So, that said, the Yankees have to consider the fact that they have Didi Gregorius. Yes, he's injured right now, recovering from Tommy John surgery, but he is scheduled to be back in the lineup possibly at some point after the All-Star break. Didi Gregorius is a fan favorite, and the Yankees love him so much that I'm sure they're going to be willing to give him either an extension or a new contract once his contract expires. I don't think Didi Gregorius is going anywhere, and Didi Gregorius is not moving to third base because Didi Gregorius is the Yankees shortstop. So I don't think Manny Machado is a good fit because of all this. Now, if Machado would be willing to play third base, I think the Yankees would consider signing Manny Machado to play third base. The only problem here is are the Yankees willing to pay another player on this roster $30+ million per year? My answer would be, and this is my opinion, I don't think they're willing to do that. Okay? They did sign the likes of LeMahieu and Troy Tulowitzki to man shortstop and most of the positions in the infield during the time Didi Gregorius is going to be on injured reserve. That said, the Yankees have to start thinking ahead, and I'm sure they are looking ahead because when you take into consideration the fact that the amount of players that the Yankees have right now that are arbitration eligible, it makes a whole lot of sense for the Yankees to not want to sign a $30 million player to this roster when they already have one in Giancarlo Stanton. But the fact of the matter is there's more than a handful of players on this roster that are arbitration eligible who are putting up tremendous numbers early in their careers, which means that every year in arbitration they're going to have a significant increase in salary because of it. Let's look at some of those players. Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is the type of player that eventually will command $30+ million a year, and I can see that. He's the face of the franchise, and he is a tremendous player. He will command that much money when his arbitration years are over. You also have the likes of Gleyber Torres, Miguel Andujar. You're going to have to pay Didi Gregorius when his contract is up. You're going to have to pay Aaron Hicks. You're going to have to pay Gary Sanchez, Greg Bird if he's still around, Luke Voigt if he's still around, Severino. All right? These are all players the Yankees will eventually have to pay big money to, whether it's in arbitration or if they're smart, they would buy out these players' arbitration years and give them a short-term deal at a fair market value to erase all those arbitration increases that those players are going to see in the next coming years, and then eventually give them their long-term deals. But that is a reason why I think the Yankees are shying away from signing either one of those big market players, because they're looking out for their own. There are players on this roster that are going to make a tremendous amount of money, and the Yankees do not want to go over that luxury tax threshold. It's not being cheap. I think the Yankees are at a point where they don't want to go over that luxury tax threshold because they are sick and tired of paying luxury tax, somewhere in the vicinity of 30% luxury tax, which this money is supposed to go towards small market teams. It's supposed to be split up towards small market teams, and these small market teams are supposed to use this luxury tax money and invest it back into their teams. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case. Owners are taking this money and they're putting it back in their pocket, and they're not putting it into their teams. And I think it's unfair that teams like the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, and whoever else is over that threshold. I don't know how many teams are really over that threshold besides those three, but there might be one or two others. Owners are getting tired of paying luxury tax money, and these small market teams not applying it to their rosters, and it's unfair. Now, let's also think back last year, 2018. The Red Sox finished with 108 wins. The Yankees, even after all the adversity that they faced last year, with Aaron Hicks going down with 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it was, Torres going down, a numerous amount of players. And then you had Bird who struggled, Sanchez who struggled. And this team still won 100 games. Just think about that. Is it offense the Yankees need? No, it's not. The Yankees roster and the Red Sox roster are two totally different teams. Two totally different rosters. One is a power-hitting roster that hits only home runs in the New York Yankees. The Red Sox are a team that loves to, they're a bunch of contact hitters who don't hit as many home runs as the Yankees. They're situational hitters. They're contact hitters. Their numbers, the Red Sox numbers last year with 2 strikes on them were tremendous. Okay? When the Yankees faced the Red Sox in that ALDS in 2018, it wasn't the offense. It wasn't so much the offense that failed them. It was more their pitching that failed them. Okay? Now, in the offseason, okay, their plan was to go out and get 2 elite pitchers. That was the plan for the New York Yankees this offseason, was to go out and get 2 elite pitchers. They traded for one in Paxton from Seattle. He's a tremendous pitcher. He's an ace, no doubt about it. The only thing is he's never pitched more than 161 innings in a season. For whatever that reason, I have no idea. From what I understand, none of the injuries he's had over his career were major injuries. They were silly little injuries. But he did lose a lot of time. Now, the other plan was to go and sign Patrick Corbin. Patrick Corbin came and met with the Yankees. It was all over social media that he grew up a Yankee fan and had been waiting all his life to wear Yankee pinstripes. And where does he end up? In Washington. Why? Because they offered him more money. They offered him another year and more money. So is he wearing pinstripes? No, he's not. So Patrick Corbin was a player the Yankees lost out on, and it's unfortunate. Now, they did bring back J.A. Happ, which is fine. This rotation looks a lot better than it did in 2018 with the addition of Paxton and bringing back J.A. Happ. The thing is, you brought back CC Sabathia to be your number 5. I thought that was a waste of money. I don't know what he got, $7-8 million. To me, it's a waste. He's the type of pitcher right now that doesn't give you more than 4 or 5 innings. That's not good enough. I know that Major League Baseball is going into the direction of, stronger bullpens and weaker starting rotations because they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay for starting pitchers. But that is not an excuse to bring back CC Sabathia. They did bring back Britton. They lose Robertson, but they brought in Ottavino. So their bullpen is strong. There's no doubt about it. But I think they need some more starting pitching depth. CC Sabathia is not going to get the job done over the course of a 162-game season. So, with all that said, these are the reasons why I think the likes of Bryce Harper and Manny Machado are not a good fit for the New York Yankees. So please stop the madness, okay? It's not offense that the Yankees need. It's pitching they need. If they go out and get one more pitcher, I think the Yankees would be okay. Who that pitcher will be, I have no idea. There's not a whole lot out there right now. I know Dallas Keuchel is still out there, but I don't think the Yankees consider him being a good fit. There are trade options they can go and get. So the Yankees have to get creative. There's only another week left before pitchers and catchers report to spring training. So if not before spring training, sometime during spring training, I think the Yankees need to look around for pitching depth. And that's all I got to say about it. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Post your comments. Let me know what you think the Yankees should do about Manny Machado and or Bryce Harper. Peace.